Hello, my name is Ian. Here is my speaking homework day one. I will perform four topics with 21 questions. And starting with the topic one, do you prefer? Number one, do you prefer to eat at home or at restaurant? I have a passion for cooking, so I'm really into cooking and eating at home than at restaurant. I can choose fresh ingredients, so it's more so if for meals, therefore it's more safer and healthier. Moreover, having meals with my family at home is an opportunity for each member can strengthen the relationship with each other. Number two, do you prefer to take public transport or your own vehicle? Let me see. I always feel classic when I use public transport such as buses or trains. So I wanna use my own vehicle. Using my private means not only help me save my time for the waiting bus, but also convenient for traveling. And number three, do you prefer to live by yourself or with roommate? After passing the university entrance exam and started to live far from my home, I usually live with my friends. Living by myself is so sad and lonely. Because of having some roommate, I can talk to them every night after a hectic day. Also, I can spare some bills for them to lessen my cost of living. Number four, do you prefer warm or cold weather? I'd rather warm weather than cold because of the increased uh, activity, freedom of activity, such as walking, playing sport, hanging out with my friend, or having peach chips. I also like the sunshine because it helpful for our solar electricity. Number five. Do you prefer to go to the cinema or watch movie at home? Alright. I'd rather to go to the cinema than watch movie at home. I go to cinema on a monthly basis with my boyfriend. By going to the cinema, I not only let my hair down, but also strengthen the relationship with my body. Number six. Do you prefer to work or study? I'd like to work than study. Starting work, not only I can become a financially independent person, but also I may earn so much money for my parents. But the thing that I'm not satisfied with it is that I don't have much free time for myself, and sometimes I suffer from the high pressure of work. And change to the topic 2 routine. Number 1. What do you usually do when you have a day off? I'm really into traveling. I go traveling with my friend every month when I have a day off, and I can explore much more new lands. Furthermore, by doing like this, I can not only put up my faith but also strengthen the relationship with my friends. Number 2, what time do you get up? I'm an early bird and I usually get up at 6 o'clock. I'm crazy about the fresh air and the bird song in the early morning. Also, I don't have a habit of dining out, so I have to wake up early for cooking breakfast and preparing meal for lunch. And number 3, what do you usually do when it rains? Um, I have I have a fancy for rain mainly because I have so many good memories in my childhood with my pastime in the rain. It was a time for me and my party to play some activity games such as hide and seek, path under the rain, right? And now rain is an opportune period for me to hang on to the wonderful memories. Number four, what do you often do when the weather is nice outside? When the weather is nice outside, I often do outdoor activities, alternatives staying at home. I can increase freedom of activities such as walking, playing sport, hanging out with my friend, or a short trip with my friends. And it's so awesome. Number five, what do you usually do to relieve the Stress. Oh, it's so terrible when under the pressure of working or another. But it depends on each situation. For example, when I'm up to my eye at work, I to get away from the stress. I often have a cold coffee with with an with a motivational song. And when if I have much more time, I will choose I will choose to have a short trip with my friends to relieve the stress. Next, the topic is dislike. Number one, what do you dislike about going to parties? I often have a headache, so I have to go to the parties because of it's noisy, and I don't want to drink alcohol too, because it put me in danger when I driving come back home. Number two, what do you hate about taking public transport? Public transport has a definite 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 advantage of being cheap. It has a benefit of low cost. By contrast, I always felt scarcity when moving by public vehicle. Also, it takes a long time for waiting for passes, or so I like to using my private mean instead. Number three, what do you dislike about your city? Life in the city is so hustle and bustle. It leads to uh, it leads to the status of traffic congestion in almost road in urban of the city. The more industry is growing, the more pollution seriously. And on the other hand, the cost of living in is exorbitant. Also, it's so hard for people who have low incomes. Number four, is there anything you dislike about student life? When I passed the university engine exam, I had a student life quite hard. I had to live far from my parents. I had to worry about everything from the meal to everything by myself. And there was a time I was dependent financially on my parents, and I realized it. And number five, what do you dislike most about the school or workplace? There are something I don't satisfied with about my workplace, firstly because it's quite far from my hostel, and so I have to get up early to go to my office in time. And secondly, the salary is so low, which isn't enough for my for basic needs. And the last topic, how often? Number one, how often do you often do exercise? Enjoy playing sport, but it depends on my time. If I'm free of work, I often play badminton or shuttlecock kicking with my roommate. However, if when I'm up to my eyes in work, at work, I have to stay at home to finish all the tasks rather than doing exercise. Number two, how often do you get a haircut? Oh, I rarely change my haircut. It's about 1 time 2 years. My relative, especially my father, always want me have a long black hair, so I'm loyal to my long and black hair at this time. And number three, how often do you go to the cinema? I don't like to go to the cinema very much, but it depends on my time. If I'm free of work, maybe I do go to the cinema for relaxing, but it's not often. Number four, how often do you go out for dinner? I'd rather cook at home than go out for dinner or go dining out. So it's about 1 time a week. Uh, I go out for dinner. Go out for dinner maybe quite convenient and various dishes week we can choose, but I don't believe in the quality of the food ingredients. And the last question, how often do you encounter the traffic congestion in your city? I encounter traffic congestion every daily. I always finish my work at 6 o'clock, at 6 p.m. So when I return home from work, still the rush hour. So being stuck in the traffic congestion is a wasted time I have to experience. And it's all. And thank you for listening. Bye bye.